When I was in like 3rd grade, I went to this science camp, and one night at campfire they told us a story about a UFO crashing into a lake nearby. And then later in the middle of the night, they woke us all up and told us the aliens were back, and this time they'd laid eggs in the woods. It was our duty to arm ourselves and go destroy the eggs. So we armored up in tinfoil and shaving cream and marched into the woods, ready to save the planet. The eggs were whole watermelons, hidden around the camp, and we had to smash them open on trees and rocks and eat the alien fetus/watermelon goo as fast as possible. I cannot emphasize enough the raw joy of digging into a watermelon with your bare hands and stuffing it into your face in the middle of the night in the woods, barely taking time to chew so that you can save the planet from hostile aliens. And I think I became the person I'm because of that night. Me as a camp counselor. Subs are so fun to play with. All you have to do is hint at what you might do, or back them into a corner with a look, or grab their wrist in a certain way, and they're a wide-eyed mess. F kinda sub way are you going to? Substitute teachers deal with so much, guys. Subs are so fun to play with. All you have to do is hint at what you might do, or back them into a corner with a look, or grab their wrist in a certain way, and they're a wide-eyed mess. F kinda sub way are you going to? Substitute teachers deal with so much, guys. Subs are so fun to play with. All you have to do is hint at what you might do, or back them into a corner with a look, or grab their wrist in a certain way, and they're a wide-eyed mess. F kinda sub way are you going to? Substitute teachers deal with so much, guys. It's so difficult not being able to use millennial humor in a corporate setting. Like, I made a mistake today and I wanted to tell my supervisor it's because I suffer from dumb bee disease, but do you think that would fly? F no. I gotta say like, sorry for the misunderstanding. I can't wait till the workforce is made up entirely of millennials and I can say, sorry, I drank idiot juice for breakfast this morning, and my coworkers will be like, oh worm. Men these days are too pussy to cut up a watermelon rind like a basket so they can put the chunks of watermelon back in and display it prettily. If your man doesn't even do this for you, he's worth nothing. How dare you? Watermelon is meant to be eaten by the mouthful, ravenously, clawing out chunks with your bare but manicured hands, while soaking the front of your pretty summer dress in the juice flowing in rivulets down your chin, blinded by the summer sun, and starving for the freedom to eat how you want. What in the F? When I worked at summer camp, we did a scavenger hunt where the kids ran all over the property, collecting magic acorns, aka watermelons, that we'd just covered in tinfoil and painted. Their last hint led them to the roof, where they discovered that the acorns were actually evil and needed to be destroyed. They took great joy in ripping the foil off them and then hurling the watermelons off the roof, where they predictably shattered. Then followed a moment of tense silence, where one of the children looked over at me. I worked in the office, so I was basically everyone's boss at the time, and quietly asked, can we go eat that? Me, being a big fan of the eat dirt, it's good for your immune system theory of child rearing, shrugged and said, sure. Let me tell you, I have never seen a group of 9-year-olds go so feral. I wish I could go back to that age and experience that. Just the unbridled joy of standing in the summer sun, digging into whole watermelons with your bare hands. God, what a life. I can't believe that both Voldemort and Palpatine canonically f***ed. Just to clarify, they did not F each other. That would genuinely be terrifying. Isn't it amazing? 6 continents, 7 billion people on the planet, and a whole lifetime of choices and outcomes. And in this particular string of decisions, in this point in time, out of everyone I get to meet, I got lucky enough to know you. I like this one because it's supposed to be mushy and cute, but with a certain tone of voice I could very easily turn this entire sentence into a passive aggressive F off. Turn down for what? The baby is sleeping. Oh sorry. Turn down for what? Monetizing Tumblr is easy. Just give it to anthropologists so they can monitor all the bullshit subcultures. Some 14-year-old. I think my imaginary friend should have the right to vote. Some 39-year-old. I agree completely. Guy in a lab coat. Can't fucking write fast enough. Things that are hilarious here. The posts themselves, as intended. The concept of social scholars needing to wear lab coats. The idea that anthropologists can afford anything. Alfredo sauce was created in 1914 by Alfredo Di Lelio in order to please his pregnant wife. He was a genius. There was once a very great American surgeon named Halsted. He was married to a nurse. He loved her immeasurably. One day, Halsted noticed that his wife's hands were chapped and red when she came back from surgery, and so he invented rubber gloves for her. It is one of the great love stories in medicine. The difference between inspired medicine and uninspired medicine is love. When I met Anna, I knew I loved her to the point of invention. Sarah Earl, The Clean House. What is wrong with my sister and her husband? Absolutely nothing. They strengthened their bond by being chaotic dumbasses together, and that's beautiful. I don't know why there is a soft golden light emitting from under this bed, but it makes me feel warm, so I'm okay with it. Having a hell portal under your bed is soothing. Some rando. You should think about stopping your prescription. Me. My pills make me not want to die though. They. You shouldn't want to die. That's not normal. Me. Yeah, that's why I'm taking my pills. Again. But you aren't the real you when you're on your pills. Me. I'm the alive version of me. An actual doctor, once. Relying on a chemical crutch for a hormonal imbalance denies the fortitude of the human soul. Me. Cool. So like I'm agnostic. They. But you might be on pills the rest of your life. Me. So. Good. That means that I have the rest of my life to continue living. Thanks to the pills. Meanwhile, no person ever. You should think about giving up your insulin / antiretroviral / beta blocker / anti-rejection drugs / prosthetic legs / daily multivitamin, because using those your whole life is bad for some reason. Oh no, they do that too. I have a kidney transplant. A woman once told me she didn't believe in organ transplants and that people should just die when they are meant to. Sounds like a great setup for a murder. Tumblr is like a group therapy with no therapist. Old coots giving advice. It's probably bad advice, but it's free. Terrible idea. Tarot D&D. It's D&D, but you replace the dice with tarot cards, and the DM has to interpret the results by symbolism instead of numbers. Oh. My friend proposed an idea similar to this. D&D. It's basically the same concept, but instead of tarot cards, you use Cards Against Humanity cards. As she put it, perception check. Bees. That sounds absolutely horrendous. Your friend should be very proud. My math class was doing a statistics project where we measured the rate of a young boy's still living body decaying. We collected data on how many of his vertebrae had been taken by birds, how many centimeters squared of his skin was covered in mushrooms, etc. Every time we went to collect data, he begged us to save him, but my teacher hurried us away. When I asked my teacher why we couldn't help him, he just said, "Be grateful it isn't you." I love how everyone is like, lol, forgot to read the URL, like the fact that this was a dream makes it less horrifying. Cop. Can you describe the woman who stabbed you? Male author. Live, spirited, outgoing, and not afraid to speak her mind. She was a raw sexual force, and she knew it. She was dandelion fluff on a summer day, gone in an instant, leaving you with nothing but the memory of her touch, and the faint taste of strawberries on your lips. Cop. Great, we have a motive, but we still need a description. Every morning after my psych class, I go and get coffee at the same place, at the same time, and the barista is always the exact same guy. And the other day I was ordering the same drink I always get, and he looks at me and goes, "You always smile, like you're up to something. Has anyone ever told you that?" And I had no idea what to say. Coffee shop AU. This is the single best reply ever. Some days you just need to cuddle a tarantula. Meet this sweetheart. Her name is Harriet. Listen Bindi, not all of us can look into the multiple eyes of death and cuddle it, but you do you honey. 1975. Today, boomer memes are taking a brave stance against basic safety. In my day we died. And we liked it. I have a headcanon that Hermione insists her children attend some primary muggle schooling before Hogwarts, just as she had done. Now, imagine Arthur Weasley attending his grandchild's science fair, being the ultra proud grandfather, and yet also completely geeking out over absolutely everything. Canon. That is a volcano. That is a very small volcano. How? Young lady, how did you make this? Baking soda and food coloring? Marvelous. The kids would love him. Never have I ever loved anything more than I love this. All the muggle teachers would think he was being so adorable, pretending not to know how potato batteries and mini volcanoes work, fawning over the hard work the kids did on even the simplest of projects. And he comes every year, because after the kids have aged out, gone on to some boarding school in Scotland, the teachers say over bad coffee in the break room, they didn't seem the type. He gets an honorary invitation to the fair every year, because he never stops making the kids feel smart and good. A mature Ellen DeGeneres weeding out the weak clones to ensure that only the strongest take up the mantle. The F am I gon' do with 30 million friends? Would you rather have $30 million or 30 million loyal friends? There is zero possibility that I could keep up a meaningful relationship with 30 million people. Hand over the money. If they are gonna be loyal to me, they deserve for me to be loyal back, and that's just not something I can maintain on that scale. On the plus side, you can use them to take over the government, giving you access to the national treasury, where you can get way more than $30 million. Do I look like the kind of person that should be in charge of the government to you? There are only two moods. I want kiss. I want to dead. Actually, there is one more. I want to eat this. Fresh baked bread. This rhymes. My favorite thing used to be how you could rotate the cursor on the Wi-Fi main menu. I wish you could do that with the cursor on computers. Wiggling the Wi-Fi remote around on the main menu was life's simplest joy. Shout out to Mike Walker for thinking that Illuminati and Illuminati meant the same thing and absolutely destroying everyone in the room. When he casually dropped the sentence, I get a discount there because I'm an Illuminati into the conversation. People from Slavic countries such as Poland, Bulgaria, and Ukraine have genetically shallower hip sockets. Colloquially known as Dalmatian hip among hip surgeons, this hip structure helps facilitate a deeper squat. The Slav squat may have a biomechanical basis. Born to squat. Optimized. Love is dead and never existed. All you did was betray me as I lay sick and festering. You are the definition of dread. Are you okay? My cat stole my fking garlic bread.